Brown Brothers.
Boom. Alrighty. Welcome everybody. What's up? What's up?
goody, fam?
Welcome to another episode of the Brown Brothers podcast with Chevy and Josh. Ba-ba-ba-bam. Awesome. Okay, so we are super excited and super honored to have Mr. Jawline himself, Josh Cesan.
Shut up! we were talking about it before, like, how do we intro this guy? And they were like, bro, let's call him Joel, like, something.
Not surprised at all.
The sharpness, G.
Quit hating.
Hey, it's because I don't have one, bro. That's like awesome, bro. Yeah, so, bro, super excited to have you on the podcast, bro.
This
So
is crazy.
second
Nah,
episode.
fuck it down, bro. Second episode, what up?
So there's gonna be some questions in here. You're gonna be like, what the hell?
That's what I expected.
But, bro, the reason why we wanted to start this podcast in the first place is to get to know our OGs and our vets and even new gens and stuff like that, just to give them a platform to know them on a human basis.
Yeah,
So
me,
we can get into
me.
the dancing accolades and all
Very
that stuff.
insightful.
But we want to get to know, like, first question, bro, being, who is Josh Cesan, bro? Like, stripping back all the dancing stuff, like, who are you? Like, where did your journey begin? All that, like, I don't know, schools,
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
all that. Who is Josh Cesan?
It's funny, eh? I kind of almost get this, like, when you say, who is Josh Cesan without dance, eh? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
it's a
who-
high
do I exist without that? Fuck me. Nah, I am a probably a high energy, buzzy, exotic. Nah,
Ethnic. My boy's ethnic.
just fun-loving, outgoing. I love to do interesting things and think outside the box. Like to tap into my spirituality. Like to kick it with my homies. But I think, yeah, my life has been pretty beautiful. I've been very privileged to have an awesome, like, amazing, supportive family. My mum is the, like, centerpiece of my everything, my work ethic and who I am today. Shout out to Jack and Axe in the
Shout out,
shack.
Jackie.
Love you, Mum. Yeah, I think I just was like a pretty high energy, interesting kid since day one, and getting put into dance at 4 years old. Doing tap dancing was kind of a way that my mum wanted to pass on what she did. But I got chucked into, like, wearing sequins and doing the stupidest shit. Sorry, Fultons. That's the dance studio I went to.
Hey, shout out to them, bro.
Hey,
go.
humble beginnings. Yeah, but I think, like, yeah, I was doing that, and I had a love for rhythm. My dad is a percussionist, and it runs through the veins. Yeah. He's a Latino, he's Uruguayan, and he was like, there was music around home, so just naturally we were always, like, Andrew was always dancing to Michael Jackson. I was probably doing something way more Gumby, but, like, listening to the rhythms. And yeah, and then, like, I guess tap dance kind of spoke to me. So yeah, I started doing tap, and it really resonated with me. And then I got chucked into ballet and jazz and blah, blah, blah.
So you were a studio kid.
Yeah,
growing
100%,
up.
wholeheartedly. Like,
Right.
and this was before my mum had a studio, which happened at a real young age. But to be honest, like, I liked tap, but I was like, when I got told I was going to dance, I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
All I want to do is play soccer, bro. I want to be the next Maradona or Ronaldo or whatever generation you are.
Let's go.
That was my thing, you know, and Latino culture passed down from my dad, and just, I think inside of me was like, soccer is like life. It's religion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%.
So I think that was a huge drive behind my competitive nature that I had from a real young age.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, went on, I quit all the ballet and blah, 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 because I cried every time I went to ballet because I hated it. Actually, a really fun fact that explains to you how I feel about ballet is that ballet is where I learned how many seconds were in 1 hour.
You're watching that clock.
I actually was doing the calculations, and every lesson I give myself a 10-minute break. You know what? Shout out to ballet though, because so the other day, I think Yara, my other stepmom, shout out to her. She said, oh no, I think it was my mum. She said, ballet is the mathematics of dance.
Ooh. Yeah.
That's pretty crazy, eh? It's the
accurate,
real
actually.
classical like breakdown. It's probably the longest, other than like cultural dance. I guess ballet could be culture though. Oh, it's all subjective. Yeah, I guess it's the longest like Western dance form. Don't quote me on that. Western? Don't at me. No. But yeah, did all that. To be honest, love sport so much. I could get into detail of all of that. But the thing that really made me love dance and made me and me and my brothers are who we are into today is because Mum started boys dance too. And that was a big platform for male dance in New Zealand. And that's why she's been an advocate for male dancers like ID and TMC, going back more OG.
Because back at that time, there was no males dancing, really, huh?
Yeah,
It was
like,
rare,
bro,
rare
it's
to
so
see.
different to these times, you know, especially because a lot of the dance, like hip-hop choreography was kind of happening in the 90s. It was more just only in the music videos. It was probably like in America Hard Out, but it wasn't really here that much. Like, I guess the hip-hop scene was more like styles like b-boying, freestyle.
Yeah. Little
Honestly, I could be totally out of it because I was so young, but that's like what I saw in the scene I was. So people being in like tech dancing, what they call an Aussie or studio dance, was considered like you're a wussy or pansy or whatever. Yeah, I'd get bullied hard out at school, but I didn't really care too much because I knew we did like cool stuff because of boys dance. But then naturally that went on, and all of a sudden we became like, you know, when it got to high school, it was a cool thing all of a sudden because hip hop choreography, you got served, all of that starts to happen. So it became a cool thing, and now I think my mum was responsible for like igniting the passion and careers of many male dancers that are doing stuff in Aussie.
Totally.
Like all around the world. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, Bring It On was the reason why I started really loving like hip hop or hip hop choreo, whatever you want to call it. It was actually, I think it was the moment that I realized was when I was watching them do like, I was on Onehunga High School, and they were like throwing talcum powder and like water everywhere, and they were just getting buck.
Clapping the air.
So I think Crump has always had like I've had a love for it. It's just like so raw, but yeah, Bring It On, even though it fizzled out and was a bit suspect now. Sorry, call outs. So boom, that's kind of like up to like 14, 15.
Awesome, bro. Just going back a little bit, what inspired you to start dancing? So your mum was a huge influence over that. Was there anyone, like any particular person, group? What sort of made you like want to start dancing?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really have a choice, so I just got I got chucked in the studio, got some tap shoes, and that was it. Which, you know, I think like when you're a boy without your dad, like I have a great relationship with my dad, but my mum and dad split up at a young age. So I think naturally with the single mum thing, we had a little bit of rebellion in us, you know, which I think is natural from those kind of situations. Yeah. So like I was kind of like 5. I was like, no, dad, no, whatever. Yeah. Thankful as hell for it. But I got chucked in there, and yeah, obviously Boys Dance 2 came when I was about 6, and that having male tutors and looking up to males as these figures who were doing like cool dancing. Like I remember it was so cool, he actually commented on one of my Instagrams the other day. I didn't even realize him. Matt Gibbons is like an amazing contemporary dancer, but hip hop dancer. Like he used to take me when I was maybe like 6 or 7 up at like the Scout Hall in Balmoral or something when things were real early days. And bro, I'll never forget when he first did a glide like to the side. Like I'd seen the moonwalk on VHS. And of course that's incredible. Right. But it's like it doesn't look real. It's
in person.
It's so, old school. But I saw a glide and I was like, gee,
Magician.
bro. And I think that just appeals to your like, I guess you could say masculine. I think it appealed to my masculine side because I was seeing a male do cool ass dancing.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But it appealed to my like my inner wanting to be a master of something,
Right.
you know, to be amazing. I think I'm
Was
competitor.
that a bit of a spark?
Yeah. I think like seeing that, I was like, that was lit. And it's cool. Like, I guess it's very interesting now. I'm thinking about this now, that a glide was kind of like one of the first moves that I saw that was really like big to me, going into kind of like the style that I'm in now.
Yeah.
It's very like, it shows maybe what took my attention, something real buzzy or trippy. Yeah. But yeah, he was the man. Matt Gibbons, you're the man, bro. You inspired me.
Shout out.
And then Gandalf Archer, who's now Gandalf
Yeah.
is like a superstar. He's he's been doing amazing things with Les Mills, Body Jam. He's probably up to so many other crazy things now.
What's his name?
Gandalf Archer. His parents are fans of Lord of the Rings.
It's
not even
name.
we were like, what the hell, like that's a coincidence. And then we found out that they, like, this is before the movies, they read the books and they loved it,
right?
So that was him. So yeah, he used to play us like D12 and Eminem when I was like 7 or 8 in the car going to flips. So we got like the full experience of like hip hop. He was our hip hop teacher. We went and did tricks.
Yeah.
So I think when I
That's
think
so
about
cool.
it, other than my brothers, who are probably my biggest influence when I was young. I think
talk about your brothers a little bit,
yeah, bro, Andrew and Richie. I think if anybody's seeing me on this, if they know me, they'll know them. They were like huge influences of me. I felt like I was always chasing them. They started a crew called TMC. It's actually crazy. I saw Schwa Martin the other day, and the first time I saw them dance was in 2005, which is 20 years ago.
Wow.
That's when I met him. And yeah, that's when I think Desire and TMC were versing each other at this Girls' Day Out event.
Right.
And so the brothers, they were through a studio backing, but they kind of were in a crew. And I feel like that was the first kind of dance crew that was from like a studio energy. I think most of the ones like Desire and
Community,
and all the b-boy crews and stuff, they came from kind of like, you know, just like as OG crews do from schools or whatever. So yeah, they made a huge wave, and they were the white boys that can dance, bro. That came across so much. We're like, shout out.
TMC is like,
go do your homework if you don't know.
Yeah,
you don't
TMC.
know who TMC is, bruh.
Yeah, that was
Goated.
like choreography seamlessly mixed in with tricks, and even like gimmicks are in there.
The
quotes.
Yeah.
They're mixing.
And now your president is bro. Shout out to Brandon and Rudy, AJ, Raina, Simon, Gandalf. I'm gonna forget some people. NJ. Damn, I'm forgetting some people, but you guys are all dope. TMC. Word.
TMC.
So there was almost like a family or a community of people that sort of inspired you to dance. It wasn't sort of just over time you got more and more and you fell deeper in love with that.
Well, because I'm a Mags boy. I went to Mags and Bring It On, and hip hop was like pretty big there. And Andrew was kind of had quite a big pivotal role in there, as well as one of my big homies at the time, Josh Cesan. Shout out to him in Tonga. You're the man, G. We went hard out and Bring It On, and Andrew was teaching me so much in there, as well as teaching me in TMC. And like I was just TMC's #1 fan. Like when they went to Worlds and they didn't win like I thought they were going to, I literally cried for like hours, bro. My God.
That's like your All Blacks, you know?
Yeah, no, they
were.
were. They were my All Blacks. My brothers were my heroes, and they still are, in the sense that they inspired me so much. I'm still working heavy with laps, and he's still doing so much with IDs. Such an inspiration in terms of he's got such a creative mind, and he's so helpful to, I know, all of us. In the music, just ID wouldn't be the same without him. So yeah, they were always pivotal in what they did, and I think they put the Cezans on the map. And TMC, so they were big inspirations for NZ. So, hugely inspired my brothers. I would be nowhere I would do none of the cool shit if it wasn't for my mum and my brothers that pushed me hard out.
That's beautiful, bro.
So, bro, just talking about glancing over ID, bro. Obviously, you got 3 ID members right here. And we're about to talk about ID, but particularly with you, bro, the ID history, which is like it just runs deep. So, where do you fit in with like ID? Like, when did you start? Or you could even talk about where ID started in the first place, because some people might not even know where that started.
No,
and then where do you fit in, and just kind of that whole like timeline up until now, I guess.
To be honest, bro, where we're at in the conversation, that question is actually perfect, because a lot of people don't know, and it's like baffling to them, and they're kind of like, look at me like, what the? Yeah, I was not in the first ID. I was friends with 2 of my high school friends, really dear to me, Kurt Masters, and shout out to him, and Cody, rest in peace, my brother. Cody Tihira, bro, I love you, man. They were my 2 homies, and I was doing TMC hard, and I was doing Bring It On with them. They were in there too, so we're so close. We're already dancing together, and then we were doing TMC, and we were going to compete. And then Kurt and Cody told me that they had actually sparked up a crew with some of their homies from Western Springs, and I was like, bro, that's dope. Like, you guys need to dance. You guys got potential, hard out. So, like, we found out that we were then competing against them at Groove, which used to be the qualifier for Battlegrounds. This is 2008. I'm in TMC Varsity. And, we compete against them. I think I can't remember who came first. Not the blocking it out because I'm competitive. ID, and they rocked the first custom tees from Lou. So they rocked, first crew, when Lou was back in, Lou and Custom Tees was back in the market, like in Otara markets?
Yeah.
Like flea markets type thing.
Yeah,
I
might be butchering this.
They started at a market, and then ID was one of the first crews
to rock that.
They were the crew that rocked Lou's stuff for the first time. They had these like the Kanye glasses.
That's where that's
bottom,
from.
And they put it over there. They did this moment, and it was like that was pretty revolutionary. Like that was one of the. Oh my
god!
To be honest, it was definitely not the first time because people been using their costumes for ages. But I think it was like a certain integration of costume into a routine that kind of just like stepped up a new buzzy level.
Opened a new door.
Yeah. I mean, there's been so many OGs before, so this is purely on my experience and my opinion. Right. But that was crazy. And then they went to Battlegrounds and they actually won the whole thing. First international competition as a crew. Yeah. And they did this one again. Yeah. We've showed that a couple times at our shows, paying homage to the OG ID.
Oh, jeez.
And then, after that, not long after that, actually, I was like, I think that I was really enjoying being taken by my brothers, but I think that I needed to, after trying to be in Team C for so long, I think I just had an inkling that I kind of needed to do my own thing.
Yeah.
Because I think I was just different a little bit to my brothers in the sense that I was like a little bit like, they had the like cool factor. Richie's super clean, got the tricks. Like Andrew, super like both of them had dope choreo. Like they were choreoing from a young age. Super clean dancers, super cool. Had that just like cool factor about them. Right. And like I think I didn't have that same cool factor growing up. Like I was a bit of a buzzy kid. Yeah. Like I was a bit annoying. I think I was a bit like too high energy, maybe like extra. No, I won't say that. But yeah, I think I was like a bit buzzy, and I think I was a bit buzzy in my movement. For those of you that don't know, like I had a bit of a like rough, like I got a bit of a condition when I was quite young that I got like cut open. I think my body was, it was just like a big scar on my tummy, but I think I was just a little bit like off. And then I got hit by a car like pretty seriously when I was 12.
Holy
so
shit.
I think the mechanics with my body trying to be like real cool didn't quite suit me. I wasn't the cool dancer. Like my homie that I was dancing with when I was quite young, Nico Boxall, shout out to him, one of my oldest friends. We were like a duo, and he done way less dancing than me, but he danced way cooler. Like he was closer to getting into TMC than I was, and I think that was a sign for me that I needed to go be buzzy, and ID was buzzy as. So I went over there, and
what year was that?
2000, end of 2008.
End of 2008.
Yeah, end of 2008. Bro, I might be butchering this. I think that, I think it might be end or start of 2009. And we were just like, they just were completely different. None of them studio kids, just taking inspiration from YouTube, but like taking it into a whole nother place. Like I felt like it was really different.
Right.
Shout out to inspirations like Matthew Moore,
Shout out.
JC Napita, crazy brain. I think that guy
He was
really
the start of the ISO movement.
I think he influenced me. Like him and Matt had a real buzzy style with his like liquid waving and stuff. JC had really cool pathways and really cool music mixes that really like had a really interesting relation with sound to movement that really like buzzed me out. But yeah, I actually still went into those trainings not being able to choreograph or anything because I was such a studio kid. I'd just go and regurgitate choreography. And then it took a while of being in there and breaking down my walls. After I think we did regionals in 2009, that was a pretty cool pivotal point. Like we got some cred, and like people were like, well, these guys might not have won and might not have been to the criteria, but they were real buzzy. And I think it gave us we stood out. And I think within these hip hop crews or within art in general, because art and competition is such an interesting subject, how they go together, because it's not really sport, it's all subjective. Sometimes it's almost sometimes it's better to come seventh and be memorable and to like have a steed that is different than to come first and look and emulate. And that's what you're seeing in HHI happen so much these days, is people are just dressing as Kanaboon and wearing like the exact same costume, and they might go there and come second or third or first, but no one wants to learn from them or that sounds really savage. I don't think people want to know their choreography because it's not from the source.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? It's not original.
Copying someone else's formula.
Yeah, and I think that's what ID continued to emulate, because it just started from kids who just wanted to be but different and do what they want, and they didn't have that much influence from a studio. So I broke down a lot of my walls in being an ID, and I learned. I learned unlearning.
That's
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so shout out to all of the bros in that original crew. You guys inspired me a lot. I learn a lot from you guys, and I have a lot to thank you for today. Just being accepted in from a different crew, even though I versed you a couple months earlier, and then just getting to be inspired by you guys, and then it just continued on from there.
Man, shout out to the OGs of ID, man. Like,
That's
even
crazy.
from our perspective.
Even this sign buzzed me out when Matt showed me. I was like, what is this? This was before I was ID. He's like, ID. And I was like, it's so simple, but it's so cool. It's such a cool sign. It's I believe Matthew Moore made that. So
yeah.
You're the man, G.
And now it's on every dance you see with ID.
It's household.
It's the full stop.
It's household symbol right now.
Bruh.
Just when you were, so you joined ID a little bit later, and then I ended up auditioning around 2011, 12.
That's a cool story in itself, right? So this guy,
Talk about it.
this is a really cool story because it just shows you, like, I think the older I get, the more like kind of spiritual I get, and the more I believe that everything happens for a reason, and coincidence, when you look at the probability of things, is just like, you can either believe that that's just a weird coincidence and all these coincidences happen, or you can have this like cool faith that things happen for a reason, and that maybe if things aren't going well or things happen a bit weird at times, that it's going to project you to the right thing. You know what I mean? So with Chev, why did you miss auditions again? Did you just cake it, or?
No, I think it's because I was at Excel School of Performing Arts, and your brother was my teacher. and I heard about it like a week later.
Our marketing was shit then.
Yeah.
Shit marketing. ID, come on. So I knew of Chef, obviously, Crucial Movement and just the OG in the scene. Shout out to the freaking Crucial Movement, Rotorua, bro. Hard. But yeah, I remember pulling up to Wendy's down in Royal Oak, and I saw him and I was like, gee, what the hell? I didn't know you were in Auckland. Like, why the hell weren't you at our auditions? And I think you had just said that maybe you didn't hear about them, or maybe you just heard about them and you missed them. Yeah. And then I think I just invited you to training.
Oh, bro, just come training.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's auditions for people we don't know, and then there's there's the little shoulder taps. But I remember, like, I don't even think I was meant to go to Wendy's. I think it was just kind of like a last spare of a thought.
Right.
Like we just randomly went down there. I don't even think I was getting food too. I think I was just literally chilling. I was chilling with my mate Jazz and Sam, and I think we just went down there. And the coincidence of you being there was, because where were you living? Weren't you living out in Laidlaw?
Yeah.
Which is out all the way out west side.
Shout out to Laidlaw
for kicking Chevy out. Hey. What were you doing? Nah, just
right. They kicked me out too.
All the boys, running amok. Yeah, I think like the coincidence there is,
it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like, you lived all the way out west side. I was randomly chilling, and then we decided to go, like, boom, and then that was the rest of the history. And now we've been living together for, I mean, we started living together probably, a year after that? Because you did XL.
I did a tour a year.
You did XL, and then you did the Europe tour, so you couldn't do nationals.
I couldn't do nationals.
You did regionals in 2012, but you couldn't do that. And then, didn't you start living at mine before that?
Maybe, yeah.
And then you went on tour, and then you came back.
Yeah.
So yeah, Chevy moved in. I was still living with my mum at the shack, and Chevy moved in.
What year was it?
I reckon.
11 or 12. Because 12.
No, it wasn't 11. I think it was the start of 12 because 11 was when we did Groove again with JC, Paul, and then they went Royal Fam, and then I think you moved in when we started doing regionals. Yep. So we started living together 13 years ago.
Wow,
that is crazy.
You've been roomies for that long?
Yeah.
Right.
Bro, you must know each other's like sleeping schedules and all types of shit.
Bro, but we do now, but like I think we have grown so much over those years.
Young.
Of course.
Like this guy's Koro now, bro. He gets up, he has like a wake up time every morning. This guy's like way on time to everything. I need to learn a thing or two from him. I was an hour late today, everybody, viewers out there. I caked it.
No, we were prepped, bro. We were like, the bro's coming in, all good.
Just off the ID history and stuff, looking back, what was your favorite year in the company? So like this could even be what you produced, or it could just be like what we achieved in that said year. But looking back, bro, what was your favorite year in ID?
Damn. This is probably one of those shot questions. Damn, I think it's so hard to nail down because everything is so, like, there's moments, like an entire year, like even if there was an amazing year, I felt like there was all these intense growing moments in them.
Right.
Like, I think first moment that actually came to my head, which is interesting because I thought it would have been 2013.
Yeah.
But one of the first moments that came to my head was the Nationals performance, 2017, where we ended up changing the mega crew around.
Gee, that was a pivotal like year for me too. Like that you bring that up.
Yeah, that was so crazy because for those of you that don't know, we had I was bringing people on as choreographers, and I actually put them in charge of the mega crew, and then it wasn't quite. I didn't feel like it was quite going in the direction of ID Co. So I switched it 3 weeks before that Nationals performance.
Oh my God. You just unlocked the memory of my brain.
Yeah, we changed pretty much the entire routine 3 weeks before the 2017 Nationals performance. Yeah. Shout out to Laps. He came in clutch with that one. Yeah. He jumped on board and he like started creating like a beast, started mixing like a beast. And we all just put our heads together and went absolutely nuts with that.
Right.
Brought in some cool ideas that we kind of had from some of the momentum shows that we did. And we did that in 3 weeks. And then that was like, probably like, I feel like that was like a pivotal moment for IDCO performances.
Hell yeah.
Or, you know what?
Hell yeah.
I think IDCO after that had a bit of a lull because we started focusing on more the young IDs and the swags and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was a glimpse of what was to come.
Right.
Because I feel like these last few years, without feeling like we're tooting our horn, like I feel like when we finish a performance or when we like go in there and we give them like full IDCO, like it's pretty like impactful. And
Right.
I think that 2017 performance was like a glimpse into the future.
Yeah.
But after that, I think we kind of let certain things, maybe I think we overthought things. I think we still needed to dig into who we were as people and as creatives, working as a team. And we went to Worlds, and I don't think we were as strong as we were at Nationals, but growing moments. And we had a beautiful year that year, starting Young ID 2, which is like thinking about like some insane pivotal dancers that started in that crew, like Caleb, which is...
Shout out to Caleb.
Shout out Caleb. Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
I just gotta like wear my t-shirt up so you can see my belly button.
No, it's the tattoo G that's over here.
Hey, but I think 2013 ultimately is the start of like
The legacy.
start of the legacy, start of the mindset, start of like
We started training, like taking training a lot more serious that year, right?
yeah, our health, our weight, our fitness,
Right.
like we started looking at the other aspects of life, and that's what defines, or like I think that's one of ID's biggest values, or like even what we are is like identity, and it's like we're trying to become our best identity, you know what I mean? And like that's why if you talk to any of the IDCO students, if they're having a sausage roll, they probably won't have it around me.
Yeah. Or a fizzy drink. They don't bring it around.
Hey, I'm
you
a
don't see
human.
a lot of
I have
food
chocolate. I love dark chocolate. I love to have, moments of going out and having parties and whatnot when it's thing.
Right.
But when it's time to work and it's time to be your
Yeah.
best,
Knuckle down.
yeah, it's time like if you want to be the best, you got to eat the best and you got to sleep properly and stuff
Yep.
like that. And that was a year that showed us that was what we changed.
Changes.
And then that literally led to us
Getting sick.
first. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
They didn't like dubstep. They didn't want dubstep to be the representative of hip hop.
Of
It's
hip
all
hop,
good.
yeah.
But hey, no. That's just me being salty, fam. We came second, but I'm glad we came second because it pushed us to keep on going to this day.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change. But that's what I mean. Going back to the universe thing, I wouldn't change that at all because that happened for a reason. I think if we come back and we were first, we probably would have been like a bit like Bill.
then we
Different
would've-
pathway.
we wouldn't
Yeah, bro. So yeah, but man, these years I think are just like going to another level, and I'm just excited
course.
to take to that next level this year.
Bro,
Right,
we're excited too.
Yeah.
Bro.
Let's go.
We're excited. Just moving on, bro. So put your mindset into the future, bro, and just say like, let's say,
Fight.
within the next 5 years, where do you
As the director.
see
You guys are cute. as fuck.
ID going, or like which trajectory do you see us going? Like, obviously we're taking a little bit of a backseat to
For HHI
competitive and
stuff.
but
Yeah.
like, where do you see us
ID
going,
in
bro?
the,
Like,
in the future.
Yeah, I mean, bro, that's a crazy question. I see what I like am starting to love more and more, and I'm starting to kind of hate is a strong word. I'm feeling very limited at the moment
right,
by criterias. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Fact.
Like, and that's why I've loved doing stuff like Puzzled, where we're just standing still for like 5 minutes, just using our arms,
Yeah.
or just doing like weird stuff, like focusing on visuals, like seeing you guys come into your own creative realm out of the criteria based stuff.
right.
Seeing Cody, what she produced last year.
Facts.
Wild.
Oh my god.
Honestly, I just like art is so like competition. I have so much to thank for, like the drive. I'm a competitive soul, and it like nurtured that.
Right.
And I don't think when I don't think we're going to stop competitions probably for as long as we've got students, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because I think that the young people are hungry to get into those. Of course, and it's a great learning experience for them to have these finite things to work towards, to have these parameters, and to, you know, like HHI, as much as I can like probably say a few, like be like about it in some ways, like the criteria is actually built pretty well to help you develop as a choreographer and a dancer. Like you have to achieve things on all levels. You have to use the stage in its entirety. You have to show different energies.
Authenticity of style.
You have authenticity of your style. You have to know what you're doing with your style. You have to be researched. You have to be drilled. It's a great criteria to get you to understand the foundations of hip hop and to understand dance as a whole and how to really utilize all the tools. You know what I mean? Right. But I think once you've understood those tools, it's time for you to understand where you lie within dance and to just go there and like enjoy simplicity, enjoy doing like just using your arms for 1 minute and like just loving doing a piece for 10 minutes and like maybe having an intro for 2 minutes. Like that's what we did. It's funny. The first year we didn't do HHI, the first routine that I created had a 2 minute long intro, and I think that spoke volumes.
Yeah.
All I wanted to do is just build it up.
We always want a long intro, but because of the time limit, we do have to cut it all. Yeah,
bro. If you've wasted 10 seconds, you're like, bro, I've got all this choreo in my back pocket that I want to use. But yeah, I think so. To answer the question is, I see more creation without limits. I see more work within the show realm. We're like heavily going down that route this year. I really want to be doing shows on an international scale, and like shows that are really authentically us, that can appeal to a diverse audience. You know, like I'd love to be able to make shows that like have really like people who love theater all the way to young kids who just want to see some crazy visual thing. Like I love that because I think that ID is inspire. I feel like we inspire the younger generation as well as having an awesome following of people our age and above as well too, which is so cool. I think like what we do is really interesting that it can appeal to that.
All ages.
Yeah, and I think that maybe deep down, going back to the boys dance thing, I think that seeing young boys interested in dance and still wanting to inspire them whilst going into like the buzzy theater realm, I think appeals to me because of what my mum's done. You know what I mean? Yeah. I wanna continue that next generation. So, but yeah, definitely the theater and also just continuing to develop the next generation of dancers.
Awesome, man. Yeah, that's crazy. When thinking about your career as an individual, what was one of your favorite countries to travel to?
Oh, bro, there's so many.
You've been traveling, bro.
Traveling,
You've been
there's so many, bro. Honestly.
Even a few, if you have a few that are sort of your favorites.
The world
people, the
is so cool, man. There's so many beautiful people everywhere. I think the first country that came to my mind, which I feel very close to the people, which is really interesting because I couldn't be more further away, like in a sense, or look completely different. But that's the beautiful thing about the world, man, is Thailand. Nice. I had a real cool experience in Thailand in 2017. I had this like super sick class and just met all these beautiful people. And then I went back last year and I went there for 2 weeks to Phuket and Bangkok. And shout out to Birdie. She's a OG in the Thai scene, and she actually hosted me. She was almost like my manager over there. She's a beautiful person, and she was just so nice to me and organized so much and showed me so much of Thailand. So shout out to you, you're awesome. But yeah, I got to have a mean experience here again last year, and yeah, I think like, man, the dancers are so hardworking but so respectful and just so down to earth. The food and the culture is beautiful. The food is game over, bro. Yeah, I think Thailand, but bro, just went to Mexico, beautiful. My Dominican homies. Shout out to Eric. That was insane. Yeah, I mean, every place. You know what's cool is that I think we're talking about it in the Q&A at I Develop. Everywhere you go, you learn something through dance from their culture that their culture has to give to you through dance.
Yeah.
Like, you learn something about life through their culture, because you know dance, you also learn something about dance.
Yeah.
And because they're teaching you something about dance because of the way that they've learned dance because of their culture.
Yeah.
Like, every culture, I mean, if there's one piece of advice, I think David Dallas said it in one of his songs. I listen to his stuff on repeat. Like, it's inspirational music to me. He's like, you want to know about the world. Oh, you want to learn? Go travel. Like, I'm butchering. I didn't quote it perfectly at all. But I think that that's probably one of the best ways to learn about life is go travel. Yeah. Man, it just teaches you so much. In fact, I think that I want to do more traveling that's not just because of dance. Because I go there and I meet these beautiful people and I'm there for like 4 days and I'm like, sweet laters. And they show me their culture so much. I get to see so many beautiful things. But
you don't get to fully enjoy it as much because you're really
I'm busy. I don't like to go a place and I never like to be half-assed. So if I'm going there, I'm doing a class, I want to be prepared. I'm going to plan. I want to try and make some content. I want to, I've got a business mind. I want to try and achieve things. But sometimes when you go to a country, it's just got to
enjoy it.
Walk down the street.
Yeah, even that experience, like someone's street is.
Yeah, that's actually a beautiful place, beautiful way to travel is to walk. Be careful.
There you go. Some countries.
Mexico, there.
Yeah, make sure you talk to the locals about where not to go. But walking is beautiful. You might not see all of the town in one day because there's so much walking, but you get a feel of the vibe more. Driving, you kind of just fast forward.
No, you're just glancing through.
Like any city.
Yeah. Walking, being amongst it is a different experience than just. Bro, so we kind of glanced over it when we were talking about your fav year and stuff with Puzzled, bro. So I just want to get into Puzzled a little bit more because I feel like there was like a little bit of a stake moment. Because would you say that Puzzled is the thing when you chuck that on social medias that like skyrocketed your whole?
There was a few videos that you posted.
It was actually
that sort of skyrocketed your followers on social.
Yeah, it was actually 3 videos in particular. The first one,
orange one.
The first one was Battle Zone. There was like this beat breakdown where like some absolute killers came on stage with me. Who was it? Shout out to Chance, shout out to Alvin and Cece and Jacob and Kuda and of course the amazing Rachel Tapsell. We had this beat breakdown where we brought in all the killers and shout out to Hadley and shout out to Battle Zone. That's an incredible event that's been introduced into the sphere in the last few years, and I know everyone who watches it and dances in it is just in awe of you and your events, bro, and just the energy that it created. But yeah, that was the first one. And I was actually like, I was having trouble breaking through this like 9K barrier on Instagram. And like, I was there for probably like years and years and years. And I think doing what I do is niche, but I think like trapping yourself in the mindset that what you do is niche is going to make it niche. But bro, there's like the stupidest sports. I think there's like car jiu-jitsu now. Like, and I say that because like, bro, if you do something till it's amazing and you do something till it's like people resonate. There's so many people in the world. So I say that out loud to remind myself. But I felt like mentally I was like, oh man, this is just what it is. I do dance, this weird music. blah, blah, blah. But then that started to take off, and that was grimy dubstep, bro. That was like grimy.
Yeah.
And that started to take off. And then I think just naturally because the algorithm was going well, I posted Puzzled at this perfect time. And like this growth that I haven't really seen on like any Instagrams has happened over 3 months. And I think I got 120,000 followers and 150,000 followers in 3 months.
Yeah. Shit.
But it was Puzzled, which started going crazy, and then actually it was Time Trial, and Time Trial went boom.
That's it.
So I think again, going back to like the universe, it's like those 3 pieces were all pieces where I had no time limit. I wasn't trying to impress anybody in terms of judges. I was just trying to make sick shit.
Yeah, those were all showy pieces.
Yeah, they were just all apart from Time Trial, that was made for a comp, but that was authentically me. You know what I mean? Like that piece couldn't have been authentically me. And a cool thing about that, which I like to say in my classes when I've taught that, is that some of the best pieces of art get created like that. And I'm someone who overthinks art and overplans. But I have to remind myself that sometimes when I make something in 30 minutes, it can be just as sick. And I couldn't. I actually had Swagonauts training in COVID, and I was trying to think of their comp set, and I couldn't find the song, and I wasn't happy. So I hadn't even prepped anything. I was like, I had kind of a set that I was working on, but I knew that was just for fun. And I hadn't prepped anything, and I was still looking for songs up to half an hour before. And then I found it. Alan Mock, actually, the man, he sent me that song. He sent me it, and I checked my Instagram. I was like, oh my God, I haven't checked the messages that he sent me. And I found that song, and I was like, oh my God. Boom. Yeah. Created, like, literally the main combo. Is still, the intro I worked on a bit, but the main combo, when it starts to speed up, that is actually the same combo that I made in my living room in 30 minutes.
Holy heck, bro.
And
see, this is the stories that we want, bro.
Yeah,
that's just a sign that like just jam and just
get it out there.
Just get it out there. Like, you know, there's a time for being meticulous with your art, and I love doing that. I love digging deep and refining things, but sometimes it's just put it on the canvas and show the world.
Right.
Facts.
Just gotta push it through, bro.
Just going off what we were just talking about, we've sort of wanting to know this for a while, but really, how does it feel to create your own style?
Essentially your own style,
You've really started to make your own movement with glitching and the music choice, but like, yeah, just from your perspective, how does that feel? Like, even for HHI, we've seen
other people are doing it, bro.
Now people are doing dubstep and similar movements. So how do you feel as, well, we know you.
How does it feel to be a creator, bro?
Thank you, boys. Bro. Honestly, you guys pumped me up hard out. I think that it's like, it's funny because when I was young and we used to we used to have the most, like, we used to play all the games on like the trampoline, and we used to be like, pretend like we were ninjas, and all the games I used to play with my next door neighbors and my brothers, I always would have this craving to be just the most weirdest different character. Like, I didn't even care about being the most powerful. I cared about being the most different.
Right.
And I think that like, I think that, like, and then throughout my years trying to get into TMC, trying to be my brothers, I was trying to fit into a box of this like coolness that wasn't ever really me. And it was when I went into ID that I think I got to embrace like this weird side of me with weird music, which wasn't by any means normal or like what you would normally see, but there was some hugely influential figures in the scene. Someone who I haven't given props to is like Limit Break and Donovan. There was this set that I can remember, like pretty much the first combo to is Limitless. So Stomp.
Yeah.
Is it called
They
Stomp?
brought
That was
the
a comp.
two
Yeah.
teams.
Nameless and Limit Break.
Limit Break.
Shout out to both of them. You guys are all absolute killers.
Shout out.
And
Crazy.
OGs. They formed a crew together, and for like all the Corey hits in New Zealand, that was like a UFC title
That was,
fight. That was like
massive
unifying the featherweight and lightweight championship. So yeah, I got so inspired by that, and then I think it was when dubstep came out, and I just decided to lock myself downstairs and just stop caring about making movements that were cool and just throwing my limbs around. And I think like I started to just really explore my body.
Right.
So I think it's really like I feel really humbled when I see people doing similar movements or ideas and kind of stuff on stage that I've done. Like I think that what you call biting is the ultimate flattery. But I think biting is a crazy subject in itself because
hip hop is that.
yeah,
It
I
is
mean it's
in
all
the
influence,
evolution
right?
of
But- yeah,
And
everyone's
if
inspired by someone.
you know anything about like the subconscious brain, how marketing uses the brain, we absorb all these things whether we're like aware of it or not.
Right.
Yeah.
So even though I've started the style that I call glitching, that I've branded as glitching, I think that there's so many things that I've learned from
Influences,
like Mike Song, Tony Tran, even AJ, Andrew Jones and TMC at the time did this crazy ISO set that
Name
I think
drops of doom.
Simon Watts did the craziest
Simon Watts,
dubstep
yeah.
sets. I think like they're all down there somewhere. So like I know that I've yeah. Yeah, that's
was
it.
a crazy one.
That's crazy. Yeah, so I think like I'm a product of influence. My style is a product of influence.
Crazy.
Right.
But I'm ultimately, I think I'm real grateful that I've managed to create something that like is my own, and I think that my mind and body has been craving it from a real young age to do my own thing. So I'm really grateful that I managed to do that, and I want to continue to build on that.
Mad, bro. Hey, like
Crazy.
just coming off that, bro. Like, if in a different universe, kind of gonna flip the coin on you a little bit, bro. If in a different universe, say you were into dancing, but you didn't take the dance path route.
Yeah.
What do you think your life would be now if you didn't take that?
Didn't do dance. What?
I actually think about this every now and then.
Right.
Well, I was definitely like really hard out into sport.
Sports,
Right.
Yeah.
Soccer, as I mentioned earlier, was massive. But I then got into tennis really hardcore when I was about 8. And then it's funny, over one summer, I had a family friend of mine, a Chilean guy called Javier, who was like another dad to me. He actually was like, you know what? I'm going to make you an Olympic tennis player. So for one summer, we played every single day for 3 months. And I was just like going harder. Yeah. And then some weird shit happened between him and my mum. He was staying, and I don't want to get into the details. But he then gapped, and then my dream was like, oh.
It's gone with him. It's gone.
Yeah, no, it kind of did, because no one around me was really into it that much.
Definitely like sports,
I
in
mean,
the realm of sports.
Yeah, I think you never know. I mean, soccer and tennis is such a competitive sport, man. Like, that's harder. So I think I would have gone for that. Other than that, bruh.
Receptionist.
Honestly,
You see him at the desk
I would look cute as fuck, nah, Jay.
answering calls all day.
Bro, I honestly reckon that I could have done something like maybe being in like TV or something. Like being a presenter.
I can definitely see that.
Because one of my
can
tap
definitely
teachers,
see that.
Peter Kimball, shout out to you, brother. He actually was always like, you should be like a TV presenter. And I always felt like I could talk. Like, here I am, probably with the longest podcast now. Yeah, I felt like when it came to a camera and a mic, I mean, everyone fucks it up now and then, but I felt like I was able to just kind of be spontaneous and kind of have an energy. And talk some shit on the mic and present an idea. Yeah, maybe that. But I feel like what I would like to do and my alter ego.
Tell us what you would want to do, bro. OnlyFans, what?
Oi! OnlyFans. Jawlines only. Nah,
off hands.
Oh my god.
We'll
Like-
edit that out.
Something on the something on the side of life of maybe like alternative medicine, journalism. I think I'm just like into the other side of life where I think there's a lot of crazy things going on in our world that I don't think get enough like press
Exposure?
I think like I'm an open-minded individual that likes, if you've had a beer with me before, it probably takes 2 beers and then I'm already talking to you about something that you're like, whatever.
We're on something.
Yeah. No, but I like going to the other side of life, but also within that, like talking about all the things that I don't think are talked about in life that I think are healthy for us or not healthy for us. So yeah, I think like maybe something alternative that would open people's eyes to something, whether it be how to take care of themselves, how to heal themselves, or maybe how to look at some other stuff critically that I think isn't looked at enough.
Yeah. Bro.
As Chevy would know.
huge.
As I've talked to his era for 13 years about all of this stuff.
Bro, we just want to know because you've been in the dance community for a long time now. What do you see the differences between OG versus new gen? So what are some of the biggest differences that stand out to you?
That could be anything, bro.
That could be anything. Could be work ethic. It could be creativity, or
you want to be savage and go down that route, bro?
Nah, I think I'll go with the savage route. Nah, it's funny because in a sense I'm probably part of
both.
I've been a part of both. So, I think like there's so many factors in this. There's less creativity because there's only a few
teaching.
There's only a few choreographers that are teaching all of these teams. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it means that there's a few strong flavors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of the kids these days are like, they don't have to really. They do. They work in a different sense because now they have to work really intensely, like drilling and cleaning. Whereas back in the day, yes, there was mad drilling and cleaning, but it was really about like really working together to make the most creative stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why these days I feel like if you're clean and you're creative, you're like on a like you've created something really different that hasn't been seen. You're like on that another level. Yeah. But I think that I get worried when I go to hip hop competitions these days, and sometimes, if I'm completely honest, sometimes I go like, whoa, like, why am I here when I come to some competitions? Because I feel like they're turning into, this is really honest, by the way, I feel like they're turning into the old jazz, ballet and tap competitions.
Crazy, yeah.
Because
same.
The same songs, the same movement, and so many butchered styles I can't even like understand. Like, but I know there's smaller towns that might not have the resources, but there is resources. There's the internet and stuff. But I know there's different demographics. So I'm not like getting at anyone, but I think that people in studios are trying to churn out quantity, and they're trying to focus on having this team and 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 this team, just to have all these students, but they're like the quality goes out the door a little bit, and but also people are trying to make a living. So, in saying this, I'm just being honest, but I'm not blaming anyone.
Right.
But yeah, I think that the creativity needs to be pivotal over the cleanliness, because right now I'm going to these events and I can't, like, sometimes I can't stand to sit through some of it,
bro.
because
Facts.
I appreciate the next gen coming through, but when you're using, like, when you're using a song that you know is being used like 10 trillion times, like, it's crazy. You know what I mean?
Change the
yeah,
song.
I think like if I was to say, if instead of just like offering my opinion and sounding maybe potentially like a hater, I think what I can do is maybe say my piece on what I think needs to change. And I think if you're a choreographer of a studio, you need to be training yourself.
Yeah, of course.
Because I see the studios that have teachers that don't train enough are a little bit of a part of the problem.
Yeah.
Because they're regurgitating a lot of the same music and movement, and they're like not diving out of their own pathways and styles. So I think like if you want to be a choreographer of a team, especially at a high level, I think you got to show up to class. I think you got to be like developing within your own style at least. If you're like you guys are firmly developing within your own style, you're still battling within your own styles. That's development. But I see choreographers that obviously might have other lives and stuff too. But I think if you're teaching kids the next generation of dance, you kind of have a responsibility to get into the studio and to develop your craft and yourself so that you're not a part of this problem. Like, because it's just like, in order for this, like, because dance crews actually dying. And I don't think people realize that. But especially in Australia, it's dying like really bad. And honestly, at the end of the day, like it was a great era. But I mean, I would like for it to keep on going because I like the aspects of bringing dance into teams. I think it's amazing for the next generation. It teaches them so much.
Right.
So I think it's time for teachers to make sure that they're developing within their self. And to show their students the way, man. To show them what hard work is. To show them like them being their best self.
Right.
To lead by example.
Right.
And to do some more research over music. Find some new music.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about like at least training in your style and stuff, like with us, obviously we've got our own specialists within our style, but then going into like other teams, there's like one choreographer that has to do the whole thing, and that's
a mess.
I mean,
Honestly, respect.
Respect as in like work ethic, but that's like I couldn't imagine trying to
do all styles.
Respect, but if I'm honest, it's like respect, but if you're doing that, are you looking into those other styles and are you doing them justice? Or are you just kind of doing them off what you've learned many years ago?
Right.
Yeah.
Which is part of the problem.
Right. That's
If I'm honest, like I think I have respect for you if you do a whole crew routine. I did one in 2015 for Swaggernauts, and I had to dive deep into some research. I didn't know much about some of the styles that I wanted to do, but I had to dive deep into them. I got my brother working on stomping. I went into New Jack. I went down
Stomping.
I went into some rabbit holes, man. I went so far. But I loved doing that, and it was really, really cool. I learned so many dances that I didn't know. I learned about that culture, and I don't know if I ever want to take a dance crew by itself again, because I feel like when I'm teaching a style that I'm not like really, like even have enough to give the basics, I feel like a phony, a little bit. Yeah. So I think that, I just going into that, for those of you that might choreo a whole team, maybe you're from out of town. We have Zoom these days. We have YouTube. There's so many things. Like, to be honest, you will have more fun choreographing your routines. You will have more fun. It will seem less like a job, and you'll do better, and you'll make everybody's experience watching your routine better if you just invest a bit of personal development. But if you don't have personal development and you don't train yourself and you don't show your kids the way in terms of warming up, eating well, and like really being a leader and having good habits, then you're part of the problem.
Yeah.
Please do better.
Fully agree.
Yeah. Do some research. Agree, bro. Agree. Okay. Moving into our last segment, brother. We are about to wrap it up very, very soon.
Let's go, mate.
We're just moving into our saucy or horsey. So basically what this segment is you're either going to spill the sauce or you're going to take a shot and get horse. So,
It's 2:00 on a Wednesday.
it's 2 o'clock on a Wednesday, guys.
No, it's not.
We don't
It's
encourage...
midnight somewhere.
That's what you say in the airport. Say, you want to have a beer? It's like, hey, it's definitely a reasonable beer time somewhere.
So it's basically like a this or that, but you're just going to answer and interpret the question how you want. We're going to say this and then
You just say
what you feel.
And if you don't, basically if you don't want to answer, you'll take a shot. But you're not on the boat alone, bro. If you take a shot,
We'll
take a shot.
That's solid. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, was that sad?
Yeah.
Five. If it was a drinking night, I'd probably just be like, oh,
Hey,
now
this
shot,
would be a different story if we were back at Mole Gang and
Shout out Sheepdog if you want to
Peanut butter
sponsor us.
whiskey. This is actually fire.
All right, so
Let's go, Saucy. I expect
you go
big
first
things.
one.
all right, mask or swags?
Damn, bro. Hello. Oh, bro, you could sip that stuff. That's so nice. You're just making them, mate. So they're all shots.
Like, no, there's a few BB traps in there, but
I just done a workout before this. That went straight to my head.
okay. So burning building, bro. So imagine you're at home, something happens, boom, fire. Who are you saving? Who are you saving first? Your mum, Cody, or your dad?
These questions are designed for drinking.
Yes, they are.
Oh,
This next one's a doozy too.
As soon as I heard burning building, I was like, shot.
That was Ken as well, bro.
Yeah.
Ken was like, damn.
All right, question 3. Royal family or home base?
I feel like you can answer this.
Yeah.
You don't have to give detail. It really could just be like an answer. You don't have to.
Everyone's
OG Royal Fam, current home base.
Okay.
Hey, I like that answer.
Okay.
I do.
Right. He found a loophole. I don't know how, but he found a loophole. Cool. Caleb or Max?
They were both your prodigies at one point.
Yeah, I was like looking
I
at
mean,
it too.
I've known Caleb for like, what, freaking 7 years
For ages.
more, but
Yeah.
Right.
me and Max just threw down at that battle I developed.
Bro, I didn't get to say, but congratulations,
Oh,
Steve.
thanks,
I didn't
bro.
get to say that.
That was the
so-
last minute too. That was really cool. But yeah, no, he's next gen. That kid is, and he's just
He's
both
wild,
of them.
huh?
Both of them
Bro.
are like so
Gee,
sick.
me and this guy was sacking it when we had to go up against them at
Bro.
thing. We're like, gee, we have to pull out our best moves.
Yeah, I would've been too,
about
bro.
them than the finals, dude.
They were
We're like, we have to pull out our best
fire.
moves right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Shout out to the little homies. Cheers.
Cheer, brothers.
What's that one? This one's a funny one. So, back pain or 2-hour shows back to back. So like having a sore ass back or
would you
doing
do
two-hour
2-hour
shows
back to back?
Would you
We've-
rather?
we've
I feel
done
like
one
there's
of
so
them.
much context missing. How sore is my back and for how long?
It's like bad.
Like how long?
For like a week.
Or 2-hour shows?
Back to back.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like I'm dancing.
Shows for 2
No,
hours. You're done.
We've done that before. Haven't we?
Oh, like nah, but like just an ID show.
Yeah.
An
Sure.
ID show with all your sets. Just
So
your
you're
sets.
dancing for 2 hours back to back, or you got a sore ass back for 5 days.
I feel like I've had a sore
Oh,
back for
what?
fucking like
I
a year.
feel like I've had
And
a sword
done
back
the
and
show.
done the shows.
Damn, I think the prep would just be too much. Give me a sore back any day.
He's used to
The
it.
prep, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Next one. So, still being a dancer, would you rather have no legs and keep your arms?
Oh, bro, come on. You guys
Or
know
keep
the
your
answer
arms
to
and no
this
legs?
question.
Which one?
Come on, bro.
He's
You
got to
guys
keep
know
that.
this
He's got to
question.
keep these.
Silly.
Gee, I was saying that too. I was like, so I could do some shapes and stuff like, right? Gee, this guy and Ken said legs, gee. I was
We're
like,
like,
I was like, what?
Bro. Bro.
but how weird are you? You're just a stump with your arms. You're like the rock dude of
Geodude.
Geodude. That's
Geodude.
what it is.
That's
I'll be Geodude any day. Shout out to Geodude.
Shout out to Big Moms.
National events or international events? Dance events. What do you like?
Oh, international way. I mean, I love New Zealand events, and I love like our community. But like when you're competing at the top level, it's just like it's game time. You know, what I mean? It's like time
Different.
to pop off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you can get into that mood a bit more internationally than
Yeah, when
When
you
you're
know
at
you're
home
versing
anyway.
Japanese people, bro.
you're like
start
shit.
sweating.
It's a lock.
Shout out to Kanaboon.
No, that's when you start doing your research on foundation.
Bro, that's when you
Because-
realize that your foundation is like 1% foundation. Damn, bro.
Facts though. Damn.
Ooh, unlucky.
Oh shit. Okay, so
This is a bit of a crazy one.
this is a crazy one. So, would you rather watch your parents do the deed every time, or join in once?
Join in one. None of the above, right?
Oh my god.
This is what you should expect from Brown Brothers. Questions like this.
You're
This one's a good one.
okay. Your dad in his prime versus you in your prime in a fight. Who's
you now.
winning?
Oh, my dad, I reckon.
Yeah, in the prime, eh?
Bro, I'm not a fighter, eh? You know, like fight or flight? I was always flight.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had some fights before,
Okay.
and like, I had to just go for it, but
Yeah, your dad was a whole
I've
nother
had more
breed,
of
eh?
the like whenever I played rugby on the field, I would just be like,
Running around
try. Yeah, and he grew up in like Uruguay where it was like a bit more rough,
Yeah.
and like he had to
time
deal.
was
Yeah,
different too, eh, back
he was a scrapper. Like I've heard stories of like people like throwing a punch and he just ducks it and he's like boom 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 like 5 punches and the guy's like. But you know your dad's stories can be exaggerated. sometimes.
Yeah.
Your dad's probably building
Like-
himself up.
But he sounded tough enough for me to say dad. So shout out to you, pups.
Yeah. that generation back in the day, obviously, yeah, they just like got up to a whole bunch of like ruthless stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're so right. Like, how many of those stories are
Were
actually
true.
true? Are you just telling me those stories just
To
to
make
like
you seem
make me
like-
listen to you when I was younger?
What
or-
did Gandalf says in Lord of the Rings? All great stories deserve a bit of embellishment, which is
Yeah.
a bit
a
of
bit of like
exaggeration.
puffing up. Yeah.
Just so true, bro. You know, like
They deserve it.
yeah. After 20 years, you know, you've told a story for a long time. Like
Yeah.
shout out to Richie. His stories get
Yeah,
better
Richie.
and better.
Gee, Rich.
Like the same
That's more than
story
embellishment,
gets
G. That's
better.
like
He's got a
You hear
different
like
universe.
the seventh version of the same story
Yeah,
with a
right.
slight variation.
next story. Richie's gonna levitate.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Last question, bro. So. where's this one? Oh yeah. Crew 24 or True 9?
Oh, bro, give me that shot.
We're like.
Bro, Crew 24 is fucking killing it on an individual basis and as a crew. Like, look at all the work they're putting into their TikTok and stuff. Like, I feel like they're gonna generate like some great careers out of that,
Yeah, they are.
and their creativity and what they're doing. Like, if you think about how much they've been actually choreographing in a small crew for, and how well they've done, and like how good it is. It's insane. But then you look at True Nine, and they're even younger and had even less experience in small crews.
And they produce
something
Bro, that
high
True Nine,
level.
I'm sorry, bro, but like that True Nine set at Upgrade A was like
it's killer, dude.
funny.
It's honestly killer.
So I mean, the Crew
Funny.
24 one, was like literally stupid too.
That one.
But proud dance dad of those two crews. Proud of all those
Facts.
boys.
Cheers.
Shout out to the brothers.
True Nine, shout out
Probably
to Crew
shouldn't be
24.
cheersing True Nine with the shot. But Crew 24, it's acceptable.
Oh, awesome, bro. Oh yeah, hard to wrap it up.
Private lessons. I'm gonna be like,
Sweet, bro. So we'll come to the end of the podcast. I just want to say, bro, thank you, like from the bottom
on it, bro. On
of
it.
our hearts. Thank you for coming. Obviously, this is a special one because we're all bros in the first place, and for me as well. Just I wanted to get to know you on another level too. We always talk about like getting to know each other. Like we get to know each other when we're having a party and stuff like that. But I guess alcohol was involved in this one too, but, it was just good to get to know you as a person, sober, I guess. And thank you for everything you do, bro, within our dance community and just within our lives, bro. Like,
you,
without you, bro, I'd say definitely I wouldn't be on the path I am right now.
100%.
And for that, bro, I am eternally grateful to you. Thank you for coming into the podcast.
Thank you.
Super stoked to be here, boys.
Yeah.
And you guys are like, as we say, we're our biggest like inspirations to keep pushing. So it's all mutual, boys. Being on the team is lit, and I can't wait to just continue to take over the world with you cats, bro. So it's really freaking cool to be here. This is dope. Only the second episode, and we're about to soar on the Brown Brothers. Be back, episode 31.
Cheers.